Good afternoon. This is World at Noon. Thanks for joining us. My name is Sahib Salah. As the All Progressives Congress APC gears up for Saturday's governorship primary, several political groups and individuals have thrown their weight behind Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa with massive mobilization of support and endorsement. This support and endorsements enjoyed by the governor, individuals from the political class say are pointers to the approval given to his administration by Ondo State people. In this report, Jerry Pius x-rays the records of Governor Aiyedatiwa's achievements, his personal quality of confidence, and quantity of the support base.
This is an indication of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa's accolades. Some stalwarts of APC attributed the clear goals poised for inclusiveness and purposeful governance for factors confidence in his leadership. Governor's stance for upholding and his sterling were described as the strength of his popularity, which they say is spreading like wildfire.
It's at the moment runs an all-inclusive government for the yearnings of the people of the Sunshine State is to have a government that is concerned about the welfare of an ordinary individual of the state. And at the moment, the governor is providing that, is providing leadership, is providing a governance that is that is driven by welfareism for the people. And this has massively influenced the kind of support he has across board.
The shadow election of APC is few days away, and party loyalists believe the governor's track records of achievements so far in the saddle empirical enough to end the organic support witnessed at political rallies. Speaking on the level of confidence, the governor's charisma, enthusiasm, and assertiveness explains why the of tilts his favor.
He embraces everybody. He doesn't discriminate. His personality is amiable, is friendly, and is jovial. You get close to him, and he is intelligent. You cannot take that away from him. And he's prepared for this journey. Amongst all the party leaders jostling for the position of governor, amongst all of them, he's the most experienced. He's the only one that has been a governor. He was a deputy governor. He acted as governor like 5 times. So he's coming with a lot of experience on this job. So he's not a rookie. So, and it's going to be a very beneficial to the people of Ondo State.
Regardless of various political attacks targeted at Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa since the start of politicking in the state, party stalwarts said he remains undistracted in the discharge of his duties, reeling off his records of achievement within the short time of being in the saddle. Achievements which they describe.
Major reason why a lot of people who Aiyedatiwa are supporting now was the situation he went through when he was deputy governor during this purported impeachment saga. People saw him, the way he was treated, his office was abused, his personality was degraded, and they saw that he was unruffled.
Some of the steps he has taken thus far give credence to the fact that he will perform exceedingly well going forward when we are eventually out of the woods. For example, the controversial January 2017 salary was cleared immediately he came on board. And also, promotion of staff. The salaries of civil servants are paid as at when due. He has also given them instruction health sector, where we have about of almost 2 personnel. Something like that, we know we have shortage. These are result of policies and investigations that we know that we are short of staff in Nigeria. And he has also given approval for the employment of almost 1,000 teachers to bolster the workforce in the education sector.
Having certified the governor as fit and proper to provide the leadership for the APC leaders advocated unflinching support of the people to ensure that Governor Aiyedatiwa clinches the ticket of the running party in the forthcoming primaries. Joy Pius, OSRC News.
Ahead of the All Progressives Congress primary election on April 20 and the November 16 governorship election in Ondo State, the campaign office of Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has been inaugurated in Oka, headquarters of Akoko Southwest local government area. The office complex was jointly donated by Special Advisor to Governor Aiyedatiwa on Transportation, Olubenga Mole, and former member of the State Executive Council, Dr. Victor Ategoli. Performing the inauguration, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa will thank the donors, promised to make good use of the facility. He thanked the people of the council area for the solidarity, steadfastness, and support for his administration. This is the first campaign office donated to the governor on his campaign tour of local government areas in the state.
It was with excitement that the people of Akoko Southwest local government area of Ondo State welcomed Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa. The governor and his team were at the palace of Olubaka, Oba Adebori Adeleye, where he was received by the monarch in company of his colleagues from the council area. Governor Aiyedatiwa, who showed gratitude to the traditional rulers and the people for their support and endorsement of his candidature, promised to accelerate the state's development in all sectors.
Secondary and primary school 2,000 to fill the gap that is existing in the staff structure in the primary and secondary schools. Medical workers, employment is ongoing. ODRs were just employed about 165 across the 80 local governments. The higher institutions, we are supporting them with funds so that they can also develop their other assets that are required for effective learning system. And all the roads and other infrastructure that the late governor started, we have made progress that will complete every one of them.
The Olubaka, who applauded the governor's passion to assist the development of the state, also prayed for his success at the Shadow and General. The governor addressed party faithful and supporters and called for a united front ahead of the shadow election.
All members of APC at the various wards, wọ́n ní ìbò yìí bí ẹ̀yin lẹ máa di o. Ṣùgbọ́n eléyìí ó ṣe tán tẹ̀sójú ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe oníka ẹ máa tò síbi tẹ́tí fẹ́ kó rí yín sàn ní kẹ́ tò sí.
The ownership hosts this weekend across the state. From Oka, headquarters of Akoko Southwest Local Government Area of Ondo State, Wahab Bankole. Osrc News.
President Bola Tinubu has vowed that those who push for the balkanization of the country violently will face the consequences. To take over the government in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, by some Yoruba Nation agitators. The president opened up while receiving leaders of Afenifere, the Yoruba sociocultural led by Leader Fashionati. The president warned those who think they can undermine the country's unity and go scot-free to perish their thoughts, as the consequences will be grave. In a statement issued by Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ajoro Ingalari, the president declared that his administration would not relent in its fights against criminals. He assured that the menace of banditry and kidnapping is on the verge of defeat, especially with the no-ransom policy of the government. The Minister of Interior, Dr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, has stressed the urgent need to address corruption, major threats to security, and has initiated a strategic partnership with Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, to tackle corruption head-on. The minister further emphasized on the need for proactive measures to combat corruption, advocating not only for strategy on detection but also on prevention of corruption. Recognizing the critical role of capacity building, the minister highlighted the need for knowledge transfer in tandem with the ICPC. In response, Chairman of the ICPC, Dr. Musa Adamu Aliyu, acknowledged the ministry's vital role in Nigeria and affirmed unwavering support towards shared objectives. He emphasized the need for the deployment of technology in anti-corruption efforts. The Nigerian Education Fund has said that students in private tertiary institutions in the country are not going to the loan scheme because of some socio-economic factors. The Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Mr. Akintunde Sawyer, during a meeting with stakeholders in the education sector, said the fund is a tool for wealth redistribution in the society. He explained that the money to fund the scheme is 1% of the revenue generated by the Federal Inland Revenue Service annually. The World Bank Group and the African Development Bank Group are partnering to provide no fewer than 300 million Africans with electricity access by 2030. A statement issued by the World Bank Online Media Center said that the World Bank Group would work to connect 250 million people to electricity through distributed renewable energy systems or the distribution grid. It said the AFDB Group, on its part, would support an additional 50 million people. The statement said, in addition, governments would need to put in place policies to attract private investment and reform their utilities so they are financially sound and efficient, with tariff mechanisms that protect the poor. It added that the partnership was a demonstration of the determination of the World Bank Group and the AFDB Group to be bolder, bigger and better in tackling one of the most pressing challenges in Africa. Now, to the foreign scene, customs officials in Senegal have seized a record $8 million worth of fake banknotes. Separately, officers carried out a sizable drug bust All this is part of a drive to fight crime and corruption by Senegal's newly elected government. Kemisola Ojomo has details.
One record seizure after the other. This is the latest by Senegalese police. These black notes are fake money, worth 5 billion CFA francs, or the equivalent of about $8 million, found in the back of a car parked at a small guest house in Senegalese southern region of Kazos. This video circulating on social media appears to show how the notes are transformed into counterfeit US dollars using powder and chemicals. 4 men have been arrested, 2 of them foreigners. This came days after 1 ton of cocaine worth nearly $150 million was found hidden in the back of a truck. Both of these record seizures came from tip-offs from whistleblowers. Senegal's new government has made fighting corruption a priority, a pledge made by its new young president, Bassirou Diomaye Faye.
I will promptly initiate a bold policy of economic and financial good governance by relentlessly combating corruption, penal repression of tax fraud and illicit financial flows, protecting whistleblowers, fighting against embezzlement of public funds and money laundering.
Before the elections, Faye and now Prime Minister Ousmane Sonko were sent to prison after they denounced state corruption and the criminal activities of previous government officials. The court saw their claims as defamation. Faye and Sonko want to introduce a new law to protect whistleblowers.
There is a culture of fear. No one really wants to denounce illegal activities because it's not easy given the reprisals. So to have a law that can protect whistleblowers, it can encourage others to break their silence and reveal crimes.
Senegal's new leadership is asking all those who have stolen from the state to return the money or face justice. Custom officials, as well as government authorities who were once accused of being corrupt or ignoring crime, now appear eager to show they are doing the work for a Senegalese public that wants to see an end to impunity. Kemisola Ojomo, Osrc News.
A drought fueled by the El Nino weather phenomenon has forced Colombia to cut the export of electricity to its neighbor, Ecuador, where an energy emergency has since been declared. Speaking in Guayaquil, Ecuadorian President Daniel Noboa acknowledged the critical state of the country's energy sector and ordered businesses and government offices to shut down. Omoshilola Adesoyajayi has details.
Widespread power cuts impacting everything from street lights to homes and businesses. On Tuesday, Ecuador declared a national emergency and began rationing electricity. President Daniel Noboa blamed the cuts on a lack of planning and corruption by the previous administrations and an ongoing drought.
Tomamos una decisión fuerte.
We took a strong decision once again because it's necessary, which is to declare the country's energy sector to be in a state of emergency. I've asked for the resignation of the minister. We'll cover 50% of the electricity bill for households for the month of April.
Noboa highlighted the severity of the situation by implicating sabotage and threatening severe consequences for anyone involved in disrupting the country's power supply. The drought happening because of patterns linked to the weather phenomenon El Nino that are depleting the country's reservoirs to historic low. This week, neighboring Colombia, as it deals with a severe drought, halted electricity exports to Ecuador. Restaurant owner Kevin Vuga says without electricity, it's going to be a huge challenge to run her business.
It affects quite a lot because you know that in restaurants we have products that can spoil. If electricity shuts down all the time, it affects us. Besides, the restaurant requires electricity because we need to blend for juices. It affects
It's not clear how long the power cuts will last. On Wednesday, the government ordered all public and private workers to stay home for the next few days. For Betsy Morales, who owns a store in the capital Quito, the decision hurts her bottom line.
I can't serve people because it's dark. You can't make the payment work. It affects me a lot because I need to keep the store closed. 2 days in and I've seen fewer clients. People come in but leave if they see it's dark.
President Noboa had promised an end to the power cuts when he passed an energy law earlier this year. 3 months later, the power cuts are back with no end in sight. Omoshiriola Adesoye Ajayi, Osrc News.
Two German-Russian men have been arrested in Bavaria on suspicion of spying for Russia and planning blasts and arson attacks to undermine Berlin's military support for Ukraine, and that's according to German prosecutors. Federal prosecutors, in a statement, said the pair, identified only as Dieter S. and Alexandra J., were arrested in the city of Beirut in southeastern Germany on Wednesday. The main accused, Data S, is alleged to have scouted potential targets for attacks, including facilities of the U.S. armed forces stationed in Germany. Germany has been shaken by several cases of alleged spying for Russia since the invasion of Ukraine in early 2022, amid suggestions that officials in Berlin are too sympathetic to Moscow. Indonesian rescuers raced to evacuate thousands of people on Thursday after a volcano erupted 5 times, forcing authorities to close a nearby airport and issue a warning about falling debris that could cause a tsunami. The crater of Mount Ruang flamed with lava against the backdrop of lightning bolts overnight after erupting 4 times on Wednesday, forcing authorities to raise its last level to the highest of a 4-tiered system. The volcano in Indonesia's outermost region was still billowing a column of smoke on Thursday morning, prompting authorities to shut the nearest international airport in Mandau city on Sulawesi Island for 24 hours. Authorities said they were rushing to evacuate 11,000 residents from the nearby area that included the remote island of Tanggulandang, home to around 20,000 people. Indonesia, a vast archipelago nation, experiences frequent seismic and volcanic activity due to its position on the Pacific. The UN says roughly 80% of Gaza's schools have been destroyed since the war on Gaza began, putting Palestinian children's education in jeopardy. One kindergarten in southern Gaza has kept the classes going by pitching a tent after Israeli strikes destroyed its building. Oyomi Ayenibara has details.
In a makeshift classroom in Khan Yunis, Palestinian, children practice their reading. The hum of Israeli drones overhead doesn't dampen their enthusiasm. Those drones, alongside the rest of Israel's arsenal, have destroyed schools across Gaza, forcing these children to learn in a tent.